Hey everyone, good morning. Paul with Blackwater Honey Forge. Happy 4th of July. It's 4th of July weekend. It's actually Sunday the 5th, so hope everybody had a phenomenal celebration. What are we doing out here in the bee yard today? Well, I got a problem hive right here. It's one that I've been trying to limp along for a couple of weeks. I mentioned it a few videos ago. This hive either has unless they somehow miraculously healed themselves, this hive either has a laying worker condition or a drone laying queen. So we're going to get into this hive today. We're going to talk about that, how to identify that, and what to do about it. At the end, I'll probably also check on my honey supers again real quick. Hopefully the bees are filling those up. But let's glove up and get to work.
This is Blackwater Honey Forge, named in part after the Blackwater River we live near in central New Hampshire, and in part after the master craftsmanship of honeybees. This is a place for learning, discussion, and to practice the art of beekeeping. Welcome to the journey. Be well and forge on.
So I'd love it if these ladies proved me wrong today. But you know what? Hives fail from time to time. It's part of beekeeping. So we're going to address that today. Go ahead and get this off. Now I had put a grow box on here in hopes to give them all the resources they could possibly need to maybe fix this hive around. But I can tell they haven't been up here. They haven't really been working the frames at all. That's all just wax I've put on. They have taken some of the sugar syrup, so they're probably packing it in down there. But let's go ahead and see what is going on. Syrup or nectar. Lots of pollen and nectar, pollen and nectar. And now a couple of weeks ago, I kind of identified this as being a problem because I noticed that almost all of the brood in this colony was drone brood. And you can tell that, see that big shotgun pattern and how much all of that brood capping is sticking up. So that's all 100% drone brood. But what confused me a couple weeks ago is that any eggs that I found were laid deep in the center of the cell, which usually means only a queen can do that, because the worker bees, their abdomen isn't long enough to get all the way down. Usually they lay on the sides. And even looking at this, I do not see any eggs on the sides. I do see a lot of young larvae and eggs at the very bottom. So I'm kind of leaning against the fact that this is a laying worker colony and more of a drone laying colony. Now the problem is that all the time I have looked through this hive over the weeks, multiple times each week, I've never seen a queen. But I think there's one in here, and what I think is going on is that this is probably a poorly mated queen. And so she's probably small, she's probably really hard to find, and since she's not well mated, she's laying drones. Again, see all drone brood on that. And I wonder, let me see if I can get a close-up here with the cell phone. So as you can see in here, we have eggs at the very bottom of the cell. And it's just one egg. I actually have a capped queen cell here though as well. I have charged queen cells in the other ones. But here's the problem. Yes, I have a queen cell, and there's probably going to be a queen in here. But I got dearth coming in about a month. This hive is going to be on to hard times. And one of my hives in another area of this yard is a swarm that I caught that's doing really well, that has a great laying queen. So what I'm actually going to be doing is combining those. So unfortunately for these ladies that have been working hard to try to fix their own problem, I'm going to go ahead and take care of these. Look at that. Unfortunately, there's a queen cell. There's a baby queen. She was stuck in all kinds of jelly. But she's going to go. Let's make sure there's no other cells on any of the frames. Like these, they actually had a whole bunch of charged ones. There was only one that was capped. But there's a lot of queen cells in here. I'm going to crush all of those. And I can tell just by looking down from the top, all of these hives are empty. Or excuse me, not all of these hives. These frames are all empty. They don't have anything in them. So, let's go ahead and get this back. And we're going to take care of this hive by doing a combine with another strong hive. That's going to clear up the drone worker. Excuse me, it's going to clear up the drone layer. I think they're queenless anyway, which is why they had that supersedure cell going on. Or they obviously can tell that if there is a queen in here that I somehow cannot seem to find to save my life, they realize there's a problem, they're trying to fix it. I'm going to help them out. I'm going to fix it for them. Let's go ahead and do that. So in prepping the swarm hive to receive that combine, I just found the queen as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get her marked. I saw her, so I marked her. Same as always, if I don't see her, as long as I see evidence of the queen, which, by the way, is pretty easy to see in this hive, because look at that brood. I know it looks spotty, but she's got eggs in the ones that have already hatched. There's eggs in the ones that have already hatched over here. That's already been a cycle of fresh bees, and she's got good brood on the other parts. And eggs in every cell that can pretty much have an egg in it. So they're doing great, which is exactly as I expected. Now, I know what a few of you are probably thinking, that how come I'm not putting newspaper down? Well, this hive, the drone laying hive, they are so hopeless and desperate for an appropriate queen that I think they're going to accept her, not a problem. What I do need to do though is take said queen and put her back with her colony. There we go. Make sure she goes nice down and deep. If she is, I watched her go down. And there we go. Putting a drone laying colony or a laying worker colony on top of a good strong colony is definitely one of the good ways that you can reverse that problem. Now, if it was a little bit earlier in the year and I had a new good mated queen, I could introduce a mated queen into this as well, and as long as they accept her, then that's a great way to do it too. Once they recognize that there's a good laying appropriate queen with good queen pheromones in there, that would have fixed this box up as well. I don't currently have that. I don't feel like buying a new queen. I don't have a cell builder. I'm not making eggs at the moment. I don't have any mated queens on hand, essentially, except the one that I caught in a swarm. So, easy peasy. I'm going to go ahead and put the grow box on this as well. Get the sugar syrup transferred over, and then we'll go check on our stores. So hopefully that shows you on what to expect as far as laying workers, shotgun eggs all over the place. I didn't have that example because this, I believe, is a small, poorly mated drone laying queen, because she is laying appropriately, but the eggs aren't fertilized at all. So, real quick too, for you, those of you that might be wondering what a grow box is when I reference that. So I got this idea from Nathan Coleman at Duck River Honey, and a grow box is very simply 2 feeders. So I got two frame feeders in this, and then this is actually all just waxed foundation. But this is the light sugar syrup as well. It's 1.5 parts water to sugar, which mimics the natural nectar a lot closer. So the bees can come up here, access this, and this is going to entice them to draw extra wax as well. So it's really good for that. It's not for putting on weight, it's for putting on wax. grow box. Thanks, Nate. So unfortunately, I'm not seeing any improvement over last week on my honey supers. There's still a little bit of nectar in some of the supers, but like everywhere else in the country, we also had a really bad heat wave for about 4 days, which were temps up to about almost 100, with the heat index of up to about 110 on some days, which doesn't make it good for the plants to be making nectar for the bees to collect. So the bees are up here, they're working a little bit. I don't have a lot of weight yet. I don't think I have a single full super in this entire yard. But again, as mentioned many times, we're making bees or we're making honey. I thought I was going to be extra awesome this year and, somehow magically be able to do both. Maybe on a perfect year that can happen, but it's kind of proving that theory true, is you're making bees or you're making honey. So a little bit of weight, but they got a long way to go. And with that last combine that I just did, I think I'm down to 30 hives even, which still gives me 3x, 3 times the amount that I started with this season. So no complaints. Maybe they'll get some honey for me, maybe they won't, but quite honestly, as long as they pack their hives full with the aster and the goldenrod that'll be coming late summer, early fall, then I'll be a happy camper. I just want to go into winter with strong hives. So all that being said, again, I hope everybody had a phenomenal celebration for the 4th of July. And until next time, be well, Forge on. Take care.